Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the Elton John biopic, Rocketman. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos daily. You can also find me over Twitter and Instagram at Movie Guy 365. Okay, Elton John's Rocketman. I like musical biopics. I love things like that, you know, with musicians, and, you know, we recently had Bohemian Rhapsody, and there's, you know, lots of those kind of films that continuously hit our theaters and our screens any given time. I remember seeing this trailer late last summer, and I was very excited. I am a Elton John fan, but I'm not like a diehard fan. It's like one of those things where I listen to his music. I can probably name a lot of his popular songs. Pops up on the radio, you know, that's the kind of thing. But I'm not like a diehard fan. I've never been to a concert or anything like that, so I really don't know much about the man's life. So I was very interested to see what they were going to come up with. And I know there was a lot of controversy recently, of course, speaking of Bohemian Rhapsody, you know, about those timelines of events, things out of order for creative purposes, that kind of thing. You know, so in that regard, I don't know with this movie if it was a serious thing or not. As I said, I'm not a diehard Elton John fan, so I don't know his history all that well. I know very just broad strokes, that kind of thing. So just keep that in mind, out of the way. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts on the biopic. Taron Egerton as Elton John definitely has the look. I think he plays the role very, very well, but you can tell he's definitely not up for the singing. Most of the part, the film plays a lot like your standard, you know, musical biopic. But I would say this one leans a little bit heavily to maybe a film that reached the Beatles celebration film, Across the Universe. It has very similar beats to that, where the songs that are being sung on screen are like a reflection of what's going on, his inner thoughts, that kind of thing. So it moves along a lot like that, and Egerton doesn't have to carry the whole load of singing most of the film. That he shares that with whoever's on screen with him at the time. You know, these people that are, you know, his co-stars, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of that going on. He doesn't bear that entire weight. So, but you do notice that he's definitely no Elton John. And I think at the end of the day, the film kind of is worse for it. I think you could have interjected Elton John's voice into a lot of those and kept, if you wanted to keep the ensemble stuff too, but it would have kind of, I thought, elevated it up a little bit more. Having Egerton sing solely as far as Elton John's songs go, I think didn't quite work. So as far as the story goes, as I said, I don't know about Elton John's history, but it was interesting, you know, take on material that, you know, I guess was presented to the filmmakers. You know, it was good. As I said, I did enjoy watching the journey on the screen. There were a lot of, you know, his rise to fame, which seemed to come, in my opinion, maybe this was just a filmmaking kind of thing, a little too easy to him. You know, I know that's not how it was in real life, but it just seemed like he went from, oh, I'll pay you like a couple bucks a week for something, to, oh, now we're booking like big Hollywood gigs for you. The transition to that, you know, I don't feel was kind of earned in the storytelling aspect of the film. But, you know, as I said, I enjoy the characters on screen. It was very, Taron Egerton's doing his best Elton John. You know, I have to admit, I felt for his character. I felt for the man. You know, the struggles that he went through, like rising to those heights, and his support system, or sometimes lack thereof, and the relationships I feel were forged a lot stronger in this film than, say, Bohemian Rhapsody, where it was just kind of, you didn't really see the band too much in that aspect. But you get, you know, Elton John's writing partner, he's in this movie for a good chunk, and you get to know him and, you know, what he was about, and their connection was really, really strong in this. As I said, the song choices were really good, in my opinion. I would have liked, as I said, to be, you know, a little more Elton John himself in these songs. But, you know, this is what we're given. I can't really think of anything else. It was good. I felt that the movie ended about, they don't really say, but if I had to guess, I would say somewhere in the early 1980s. So there's plenty of more material that they didn't really cover. It almost kind of, and they did the post, you know, the credit thing where they're like, oh, well, this is what he did after and stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure I would have put that in there. I think maybe if this one did well, they could have had enough material for a second one, you know, maybe a little more celebration of Elton John's music and that kind of thing. And it was okay. You know, as I said, I didn't come out of the film not want, you know, like, oh, you know, that was a disappointment or anything. It felt a little middle tier for me. Just, you know, I guess, I don't know, maybe if you're a diehard Elton John fan, you walk away with this with a greater appreciation. But, you know, in my opinion, as a film, as a kind of a neutral party, I think it could have been done a little bit better, but I enjoyed the hell out of the cast. I think, oh, and another plot point, going back to the story a second. So Elton John marries this woman who, I barely get the name, I think it was Renda or Rita, and that happened so fast. And it was definitely something was left on the editing floor there. And that's just, you know, kind of like goes to the aspect of storytelling and, you know, keeping what's good in and maybe losing a few bits. But I think a little bit more explanation as to why this woman was like important to him. Barely got anything out of it. I don't know. As I said, it was an okay film. It's not something that I would probably revisit many times, but I'm going to give it about a 6 out of 10. It's enjoyable. You might get more out of it if you are a diehard Elton John fan. For me, it was just kind of middle of the road. So, let me know in the comments. Are you interested in seeing Rocketman? Please let me know. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.